Sue started wondering if there was a way to clear up the misunderstandings. She felt it would be better if the two talked it out on their own. So she invited Tokaiwa for a walk in a nearby plaza. However, she soon led Tokaiwa straight into a men's clothing store. Tokaiwa thought that Sue looked great in women's clothing too. But perhaps Sue had a personal attachment to men's clothing, so he didn't ask further. To his surprise, Sue was actually picking out clothes for him and even suggested they buy matching outfits. Tokaiwa hesitated. Wearing matching outfits seemed risky, given that Sue's mysterious prince persona was quite well known at school. However, he couldn't. Tokaiwa and Asagi dragged Hegi out of his house for a camping trip. Hegi had been preoccupied with thoughts of Kawaku and feelings sentimental. Sue revealed that he had deliberately kept the trip a secret from Hegi, knowing he might try to escape. Before setting up camp, Fuji reminded everyone that they needed to pitch the tents first. Sue strategically assigned Kawaku and Hegi to start a fire together. Kawaku felt quite awkward about it. As Hegi complimented the cake. Kawaku took the chance to ask what had happened that day. When he found out, he immediately apologized. It turned out that she had mistakenly thought she was interrupting a couple's romantic moment. It was still embarrassing. Hegi quickly clarified that the person with him was his older sister. Realizing the truth, she let out a sigh of relief and instinctively said, "That's a relief." Hegi suddenly became aware of something and mustered the courage to confess his feelings to Kawaku. However, just as he was about to say it, he hesitated, feeling that it was too sudden. Kawaku, on the other hand, completely misunderstood and assumed Hegi was talking about desserts. So he quietly pulled out a bag of marshmallows and said, "This is all I have for now." Seeing this, Sue concluded that things should be fine. After setting up camp, they all slid down grassy slopes using mats, since there were only 5 mats. Fuji naturally ended up sitting with Asagi. Meanwhile, Hegi tumbled down a hill, and later, they all enjoyed a barbecue together. Others? In Fuji's opinion, Hegi and Kawaku's situation wasn't too concerning. The real issue was Sue. He had expected Sue to win over Tokaiwa quickly, but Tokaiwa, being oblivious as ever, seemed completely unaware. Sue simply smiled and said there was no rush. He wanted a guaranteed win, so taking his time didn't matter. After dinner, he swiftly arranged tasks so that Tokaiwa and Sue were left alone at the campsite. Tokaiwa sighed in relief, happy that Hegi had returned to normal before summer break ended. He pulled Sue along to stargaze and casually remarked, "The moon is so beautiful tonight." Sue raised an eyebrow and teased. That was quite a sudden and romantic confession. Tokaiwa nearly choked on his drink. He panicked. He hurried to explain that he was only commenting on the scenery. "Tonight, the moon is beautiful." Tokaiwa's heart started racing. At that exact moment, Asagi returned, breaking the moment. Fuji sighed and teased. "Didn't you say you were taking things slow?" Sue chuckled, saying, "I am." That night, everyone slept in tents. But Hegi, knowing that Kawaku was in the tent next to him, couldn't sleep at all. Instead, he crouched outside, staring at the night sky. He noticed a cute sparrow nearby and was about to take a picture to send to Kawaku, only to find that Kawaku was already awake and greeting him. When he casually mentioned how beautiful the morning light was, Hegi, hearing Kawaku's voice, felt a deep sense of peace, unable to resist. He leaned against Kawaku's shoulder,